Good day, grade 12 students. We are now down to our last lesson for this week, week number 2 of Practical Research 2. But as usual, before we start with our lesson, let us have first a prayer. Once again, good day grade 12 students. How are you today? I hope that you and your loved ones are in good condition. Before we start with our last lesson, let us do first a recap of what we have discussed in our last video. Okay? Answer the following questions. Number 1, what is research hypothesis? Okay. Research hypothesis states the possible outcomes that a research will have to at the end of your research process, and it says the different variables and how will they be affecting each other as you do the research process. Next, what are the different types of research hypotheses? So we have null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis says that there will be no significant relationship between the variables present in your study, while alternative hypothesis says that there will be a significant relationship between the variables used or tackled in your research study. Okay, so now we're going to discuss lesson number 4, or the last lesson for this week, which is all about the definition of terms. Okay? After this discussion, you are expected to learn or to achieve this objective, define terms used in the study. Okay? Now let's begin with our discussion. What is definition of terms inside your research paper? Definition of terms is like a glossary of important terms that you used in your research study. Variables and sub-variables or values in conceptual framework are defined, except very common variable like grade level, gender, school type, where the values are indicated in the framework itself. So yung mga halagang terms, yung mga variables na ginamit na important, and yung mga unknown or yung mga words na kapag binasa ng reader ay hindi nila agad maintindihan, ay kailangan nating i-define sa ating research study. And we will make a glossary like compilation of terms that are used in our study, and they will be compiled in a part of the research, which is the definition of terms. Okay? So, what are the basis for writing the definition of terms? There are two types of definition of terms that can be used. The first one is the conceptual, and the second one is the operational definition of terms. When we say conceptual definition of terms, it is based on the meaning of the words written on a dictionary or other reference material. Okay, so for example, you use cook. Kunyari, merong cook. O kaya, meron doon nakalagay ay vaccine. Okay, so hanapin nyo lang yung meaning nun sa dictionary or other reference material, and then write it on your definition of terms. So that is conceptual framework. Next one is the operational definition. Okay, it is like what we call this the definition based on what you have used them in your study. Kung paano nyo ginamit yung isang term or yung mga phrase or words sa inyong study. Okay? So yun kasi ay iba sa conceptual kung paano nyo ginamit. Okay? And the term should be arranged alphabetically. Mas maganda na ilista nyo muna lahat, and then saka nyo i-alphabetical para hindi kayo mahirapan. Kung gusto nyo rin naman alphabetical na, kaya lang talagang isa-isa nyo kung sino muna A sa lahat ng nakita nyong variables, tapos B sa lahat. So, mas maganda na isulat nyo muna lahat, and then meron namang auto-arranging sa ilang application sa inyong cellphone or sa inyong laptop or computer. Okay? And they should be defined lexically and or operationally. Okay? So, paano nga ba yung conceptual and operational para mas maintindihan nyo pa? Ano yung pagkakaiba? Ano yung examples nila? Okay? So on writing on definition of terms, you can use this as your opening statement. So kapag ka, parang sa conceptual framework, di ba kailangan may opening statement muna bago ilista. Hindi naman siya basta, okay, kunyari, cook, virus, malagay na agad na gano'n. Kailangan, syempre, formal kasi yung ginagawa natin, so kailangan may introduction muna. So pwedeng ganito, the following terms are defined as used in the study. Okay? So, tapos, term 1, term 2, term 3, sunod na yan. Okay? Use one paragraph for each term to be defined. Okay? Hindi kailangan na, ito yung, kunyari, virus. Napakadami nilagay na meaning. O isang paragraph, isang sentence lang. One paragraph, one sentence. Make a list format or paragraph format. Pwede siyang by listing or paragraph format yung gagawin ninyo. Example ng list format, so note natin, terms should be written in italics. Okay? Term A, definition. Term B, definition. Ganun siya. Okay? So ganyan yung paggawa ng or pag-write ng definition of terms. Okay? So kailangan tandaan is pwede siyang may opening statement muna and then pwede siyang list format or paragraph format and tandaan one sentence, one paragraph lang kapag gumagawa ng definition of terms. Okay? So, paano naman yung paragraph format? Ganito siya. Kunyari, quoted from a source, so ilalagay niyo yung source. According to Webster 2001, the term troll is a noun that define, okay, or that means, so ilagay niyo yung definition doon. Pwede rin namang troll, o ganun lang. Okay? So, pwede rin ganito, your own definition. Okay, sabi nga sa kanya kanina, pag conceptual, galing sa dictionary or other reference. So, ilalagay nyo talaga yung makikita dun sa reference na yon. Pagka operational, yung definition, basic sa pagkakagamit mo sa research. So, for example, ang troll kasi, ibig sabihin, pwedeng manloko, pwedeng ganon. So, or iba pa. So, kapag naman ganito, troll means to collect, as in to troll from the internet for quotes. Okay? So, ang troll na ginamit mo sa sa iyong research ay, ang ibig sabihin niya ay kumolekta o magkolekta. Okay? Hindi siya yung troll namang troll. Okay? Dito, to troll the internet for quotes. Ibig sabihin, magkolekta ng quotes mula sa internet. So, ganun mo kasi siya ginamit sa iyong research. Okay? So, that's it. Pahabilis na, di ba? Paano gumawa ng definition of terms. Kasi nga, yun naman siya, although essential part siya, pero hindi siya ganoon talaga focus ng ating paggawa ng research study. So, kailangan nila hanapin yung mga unknown words or mga unfamiliar words with your research or important variables in your research and then define it using in list form or paragraph form or in conceptual or yung based sa dictionary or operational yung based sa inyong pagkakagamit sa research. But if you want to learn more about how to write definition of terms, you can open the file definition terms on your flash drive. Okay? That's it for our last lesson for this week. Answer activity 5 found on your assessment sheets. Thank you for listening for these instructional videos that I have prepared for you for this week. Once again, this is our lesson number 4 for Practical Research 2, week number 2, definition of terms. I hope you learned well in our lessons for this week, which is all about learning from others and reviewing the literature. Thank you, Revisians. Happy learning and God bless.